Who are you looking at right now? I know you've had your close eye on the NCAA tournament, and I assume that's where this recommendation is going to come from.
Lane Hutson, Montreal Canadiens. I think if you're a Canadiens fan, you kind of know what he's capable of this year. 15 goals in both of his seasons in the NCAA, 48 points last year, 49 this year. Uh, one of the best under 20 defensemen we've ever seen at the college level. There are guys that put up more numbers back in the 70s and 80s, but back then, like college hockey was just not a good level of hockey. So it has really improved over time, and Hutson himself is looking great. I think the pure potential here for him to put up a ton of points in the NHL, it's got to get you excited. And I've been on record saying I thought he was a top 10, top 15 prospect when in that 2022 draft. So for him to fall outside of the top 60 was unbelievable. But you look at him, and at the time, 5'8", not great size. He is 5'10" for the last measurements I've seen. So he's actually added some size. His defensive game has improved a lot. That was another thing that was really kind of going against him, where defensively he was a bit of a disaster at points last year in college, but it's not the case anymore. The Boston Terriers are a very good team here in college hockey. I think everyone's looking at the Eagles, the Boston College Eagles, as the team to beat right now. Cutter Gauthier, Will Smith, Ryan Leonard, Gabe Perreault, but Celebrini and Lane Hutson, those guys are really exciting to watch too. But I do think Boston University should be able to get to the final of the Frozen Four. What happens here is once Boston University is eliminated, he is eligible to sign. Elaine Hutson is eligible to sign an NHL contract. So will we see him for maybe a game or two in the NHL? I think that's kind of what the plan is here. That will burn a year of his entry level contract, but I think that's kind of the reward you want to give for a guy who has been as good as he is, because I believe Scott Morrow is the only defenseman that has more points over the last 3 years in college hockey. And he played a whole season more than Lane Hutson did, and it's like really close. So with what Hudson's been able to do as a puck producer on the power play, do everything, he's going to be such a great fantasy defenseman in the NHL. Not going to block shots, not going to hit guys. That's not his game, but he's going to be just dynamite with the puck. I would love to see what he could do with someone like Arbor Jacki, who's out there to kill people. And then you got Hutson going out there to finish off the plays. I think that would be a really fun match or lineup. Obviously, you got David Reinbacher, who I think probably has another year or two to go before he's in the NHL. But Hutson, he should be a full-time player next year. So I think that's exciting. And Canadiens fans, it's going to get better pretty soon, especially with the young defenseman you got coming up in the system. And hey, give him a forward to start passing to next year in the draft. So yeah, I like Lane Hutson.
Excellent. I want to quickly put you on the spot. If you were to rank long-term fantasy potential, Lane Hutson versus David Reinbacher versus Logan Mailloux, how would you rank the three?
Lane Hutson. I just think you know what he's been able to do at every level. It just the forwards just don't know how to handle it. Now the pro game is totally different, and the other two have played the pro game. I think Reinbacher is just not going to be putting up a ton of points in the NHL, and I'm still questioning if Mayhew's got the overall game that's going to make him get the ice time that maybe Lane Hudson's going to get in the NHL. So I think that I'm picking Lane Hutson as the guy. I just think that from a pure offensive standpoint, he's untouched in that category. So yeah, I like wait till he's passing to Cole Caulfield and then Nick Suzuki and guys like that. Like it's one thing to be passing to Celebrini, obviously as good as he is, but wait till he's sending it to Caulfield and Suzuki. I think Lane Hudson's going to be putting up a ton of points in the NHL, more than those other two.
Nice. It's going to be when you're watching the Habs power play with Hutson and Caulfield out there. It's going to look like you're watching Timbits hockey at the intermission. Hey, I'm small too, so I'm allowed to make that joke.